Whether it's a wedding, shower, dinner party, or gala event, an invitation comes with some important obligations. And today I'll be sharing with you some helpful tips that will not only leave people wowed by your amazing guest etiquette, but will also help you stay on those important guest lists. Received an invitation with an RSVP. An RSVP is definitely telling you that the host is counting on you to let them know whether or not you will be attending the event. An RSVP is a little code that has been around for a very long time. Believe me when I tell you that it is not the latest 2014 trend in the event industry. There's many different ways of how to respond to an invitation, but always reply in the manner that has been indicated to you. So if the invitation is telling you to RSVP to Stacy by February 15th at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, make sure that you actually call Stacy before or on the day that was indicated and let her know whether you're coming or not. I strongly suggest that you guys do not leave any messages, because if they're anything like me, I don't listen to my voicemails. So make sure you actually speak to Stacy at the number that was provided on or before the date that was indicated and let her know whether or not you will be there. If, along with your invitation, you also received a response card, fill it in and send it back. When you come across an invitation that states regrets only, please keep in mind that your host is expecting to see you at their event unless you have called and notified them that you will not be attending. And I want to point this out because a lot of people confuse that. A lot of people see regrets only and feel that they do not have to call whether they are or whether they're not attending an event. And then there's the no reply request. And that's exactly it. You don't have to reply. Once you have RSVP to an invitation, is that your final answer? Well, that all depends. For example, a few weeks ago you received an invitation to your co-worker's wedding, who you really don't socialize too much, and she invited you out of common courtesy and because you spend 40 hours a week with each other. And as proper etiquette, you returned the RSVP card stating that you will be attending. But yesterday you received a phone call from your best friend inviting you to the Jay-Z concert, which happens to be on the same day. Now, although I may agree with you that Jay-Z's concert would probably be more exciting and fun than going to your coworker's wedding, especially when you are going by yourself, canceling your RSVP from a yes to a no just because you got a better offer is a guaranteed way to get dropped from all guest lists. Changing your yes to a no is only acceptable on the accounts of injury, death in the family, or an unfortunate act of God. But make sure that you notify your host as soon as possible. Saying that you are going and not showing up is straight rude. Being a no-show is absolutely not acceptable. You want to change your no to a yes? That is okay. Just make sure that you call your host and let them know that you are now able to attend their event. Do not just show up. Just because you received an initial invitation doesn't necessarily mean that you are still invited or welcome to attend the event after you have RSVP'd that you will not be there. So never show up and never be a no-show. May I bring somebody? The answer is no. And don't even ask the host if you can. I'm the one hosting the event and you call me and ask me if you can bring someone after I clearly stated that you are the only one invited, I have no problem telling you, no, you may not. But then there are others that feel bad or don't want you to get upset at them or not show up at their event, and they feel obligated to having to say yes. So don't make anyone feel uncomfortable. An invitation is extended to the people the host wants to invite. Some invitations indicate that you can bring a guest. And if that's the case, the envelope would be addressed to Mrs. Erica Hernandez and guest. Or the response card would say Mrs. Erica Hernandez +1 or it would have number of people attending, which is 2. And when you reply, you must indicate whether you will be bringing your guest or you won't be bringing a guest. But how about my children? Listen, I got children too. If they were invited, the invitation would have said so. Some venues do charge your host a fee for having children. I remember one time a child busting his lip open because he was running back and forth across a marble dance floor, sliding from one side to the other while his father was on the bar drinking and his mother was dancing in a circle with the rest of the bridesmaids and the brides. So there's certain events that children should not be allowed to attend. So you can't get upset at your host if your children are not welcomed or invited to an event. But my aunt is here from Cuba, and I'm not going to leave her home alone. In this case, it's best that you just decline the invitation with the reason why you will not be attending. This gives your host the option to perhaps extend the invitation to your aunt that is visiting. Make sure to always say thank you at the end of an event. I've never heard of anybody getting seriously injured because they RSVP'd to an invitation. So return the favor and let the host know whether or not you'll be attending. Because the truth of the matter is that unless you're the one paying for that bill at the end of the night, they really didn't have to invite you. Until next time, bye.